Lackluster but active. We've got multiple systems, one of which moving through tonight. We've got more to come, perhaps even more impactful as we head into the upcoming weekend. More on that in just a moment. You can see on our visibility map down to we'll say 3/4 of a mile from New Haven, a mile and 3/4 from Groton. So clearly where the visibility is reduced throughout the southern part of the state is where we're currently tracking the flakes that are flying, those deeper shades of blue along and just north of the 95 corridor, indicating where that snow is coming down at a pretty decent clip. So we've got snow tonight really affecting southern parts of our state. It's quick hitting. It's going to be gone in a couple of hours. Then we've got a first alert weather day for impacts from snow tomorrow night that transition over to an icy mix that will lead to slick conditions for the Thursday morning commute. Then for the upcoming weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, initially snow going over to a mix to rain, perhaps back over to snow, followed by a shot of cold air for next week. So lots to talk about. Right now from Hartford, 30 degrees, a south wind at 3. Great visibility in our capital city, not so much overlooking the green and then the Elm City here, 34. And just within the last half hour, those side roads becoming covered with snow. And there's the snow actively coming down, of course, from New London, where we're right at 30 degrees, the pavement covered as well. So along the shoreline, between 30 and 35, inland 25 to near 30 in many spots. And again, we're on the northern fringe of this snow that's passing by with the offshore system that's going to be moving away from southern New England through the overnight hours. So here we are at 11 o'clock. By 2 in the morning, still some flakes flying, points thereafter wrapping up, moving out. So by then, we could see a coating to an inch or two throughout portions of southern Connecticut. Otherwise, throughout the day tomorrow, maybe a few peaks of sun here and there, but otherwise mostly cloudy. Temps for our Wednesday top out in the upper 20s and low 30s inland, 30 to 35 along the 95 corridor. Now, tomorrow night, we have another round of snow scattered and light initially overspreading the state well after sunset, so about 24 hours from now. But this one, we're going to see initially snow go over to that icy mix as some milder air is drawn in across southern New England aloft. So we're going to see that transition over to an icy mix and then even rain south to north into the pre-dawn hours of Thursday morning. So by the time we get to the commute, that's when initially say an inch or so of snow. And our models have come down a little bit on the accumulation here in advance of that transition over to the glaze of ice from some freezing rain and sleet. And that also has shifted a little bit farther north across Connecticut. So some good news, but still an impactful system for early Thursday morning. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're up to 40, if not higher, with at least some partial clearing. So on our first alert 7-day forecast, we're going to end the week Friday, Valentine's Day, colder, highs between 30 and 35, breezy, so feeling more like the 20s, but otherwise dry and bright. As we head into the upcoming weekend, we've got more first alert weather days. Notable since last night, the arrival time of snow on Saturday, now midday. Pretty good model agreement on the American, also on the European model, and picking up a bit in intensity as we head past sunset. Here's 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, but also note the mix and rain line just to the south of Connecticut, that eventually moves north. Before that happens, we could see measurable, plowable amounts of snow by Saturday evening. Too early to put any numbers on the map, but as we head toward daybreak on Sunday, we're seeing a mix over to rain. Now, the European model, milder, basically ending in some rain, whereas the American model by later Sunday brings us back over to some snow. And we could pick up some decent amount of rain from this, so that in tandem with snow melt could lead to some poor drainage, nuisance-type flooding over the second half of the weekend. Otherwise, behind this system, much colder, windy, but dry and bright for Monday and Tuesday of next week.